All right, this is Keith Weaver with Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. So we're going to get right to it. So question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Clayton Erekson. I'm the co-founder of Vitality Energy. We are a building analytics platform. Basically, we centralize the data of smart buildings into one central platform.
Awesome. So a lot of software, but a lot of brand new technology, it sounds like, too.
Yeah, everything from building control, lighting control, occupancy, work order systems, all in the one platform. We run analytics on that, just like a business intelligence app. And we can build facilities managers make better decisions.
So what's the best thing about being a business leader?
I would say, working with people, whether it's your clients or your employees. I really enjoy working with people and spending time with them and seeing them grow.
Awesome. Question number 3. I hear from other leaders that people strategy can be more of a challenge than their business strategy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation, really, and where you're going into. Launching a new product and going into a new territory like we have has been definitely had its challenges. So definitely, people strategies also has a lot of challenges involved with it as well. Working with people in general is challenging. So I think, every leader is going to be in different situations, and, the times that we're in right now definitely affects that a lot as far as business strategy is concerned. But yeah, if I had to choose, I would definitely say people strategy.
Okay. So question number 4, what strategy would you want to share with other leaders?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, one of the biggest things that I've learned over the past couple of years is just getting out of my people's way. It's very easy to be a micromanager, especially for a founder of a company. It's very, very easy to sit there and say, this is how I do things, so you should do it this way. What I've learned a lot is, basically tell people what you want and what you expect, and then get out of their way. And a lot of times I've been really surprised with their results. And so, working with other business leaders around that, it seems like that's a very common challenge people have, is resisting the urge to micromanage. So, just get out of your people's way. You got to set the very clear expectations on what you want out of it. But I've always been surprised on how they get things. And, when you have people smarter than you around you, it's very awesome with the results that you get.
One, I think a part of that is the leader, you have to be very self-aware. And it sounds like you're very self-aware, to be able to do that. But
yeah, I just have smart people that work for me. That's all. I'm not,
awesome.
The smartest person in the room, and I never try to be the smartest person in the room. And in fact, it scares me when I am the smartest person in the room, and that it's a waste of everybody's time because I'm pretty low on that list.
So question number 5, what other successful leaders like yourself would you want to acknowledge or that you think would be good on the podcast?
Oh man, that's another really loaded question. And that I've been, that old saying of standing on shoulders of giants. I've been blessed with having very successful business leaders in my life. From a very young age, I was surrounded with successful business leaders that have influenced me. So yeah, there's a lot of them. The 2 that first come to my mind would be, Kyle Buxton. He's an area leader for Win Wholesale. He was a former boss of mine and a very big role model. Basically took me under his wing at a very young age and helped me. And then Kent Whipple of Whipple Heating and Air, another very smart man, self-made, created, in a very competitive industry. He created probably one of the best service companies in the state of Utah. So those are the 2 that always jump in my mind.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. So question number 3, just kind of a fun question, but tell me about your favorite past boss.
So I just mentioned him, shout out again to Kyle Buxton with Win Wholesale, and that Kyle was great to work with, and that he told you like it is, wasn't afraid, he wasn't afraid to tell you that you were wrong. But at the same time, he never really came down on me. Like, I remember one time I made a pretty good mistake, about a $30,000 mistake for the company. And he never addressed it. And, I stewed on it all weekend and, addressed it with him on Monday. I brought it up and he kind of looked at me and just said, there's nothing to really yell at you about, in the fact that you probably caused yourself more pain than I would have caused stewing about it all weekend. So that's always stood out to me as a really good example of leadership.
That's an awesome story. Thanks for sharing that. Well, we enjoyed having you on today. We do have a little bit of time. Any other thoughts or anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to that. I think it was the fourth question, or the the strategy of staying out of people's way.
Yes.
That's something that I'm constantly looking at. Phil Knight wrote a really good book called Shoe Dogs, and that's one thing that he talked about a lot in that book, of setting expectations, having good people around you, and then sit back and be excited about the results. That's a very big deal for me, in that if you have really good people, your people will just do things that you never thought that at least for me, that I would have never thought of doing stuff. Again, as a founder of a company, it's very easy to get stuck inside your own box, and very easy to focus on what you've done and what you've had success and your wins in the past, and to kind of get that arrogant attitude of, well, this is the best way to do it. And so it's great to bring in people that are really smart and that don't have the same backgrounds as you have, that, a very diverse culture, and, set the very clear expectation. That's the one thing that I think I failed with this on when I started doing it, is I wasn't very clear in setting that expectations. And, if you set the very clear expectations and then you get out of the way, if you have the right people, they'll surprise you every time. If you have the wrong people, there's certain people out there that don't want to surprise you. There's certain people that want to be told what to do every single time. And for me, that's just not my personality as a leader. And so it's good to, have the people around me that I can say, hey, at the end of the day, I don't care how you get from A to B. I just care that B is obtained. And it's just always fun to be surprised by what they pull out.
Well, and it sounds like definitely knowing your people really pays off as well, because like you said, not everybody's the same, and knowing what's going to drive them and help them. But
yeah, I mean, that would be kind of a subset in here in my mind, is that, as a CEO, I'm a natural salesman, and, there's not every salesman is the same. Their DNA is different. Not every salesman's a hunter. Not every salesman's a farmer. And, hunters and farmers are two very good, important roles in sales and a sales organization. But you've got to know what one's what, and you're going to approach a hunter different than you're going to approach a salesman as far as your expectation levels. And they're both going to get to the end expectation in the same way. So, it's approaching the employee the right way as well.
Great. Well, we're about out of time, but tell people how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on any social media. It's just Clayton Erekson. My email address is clayton@vitality-energy.com.
Great. Thanks for being on. We appreciate it. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, follow us on LinkedIn at Weaver Business Coaching, or the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. Best success.